Hello, everyone. So, how is everyone doing? Just the day after CAT, right? So, now is the time to look at the things beyond, right? CAT is done and dusted. Whatever has happened has happened. For the bad, for the good or the bad, I hope that something will come across. Whatever has happened, everything is on a relative basis. So, no point, worrying too much, अगर आपने अपना अच्छा किया है राइट तो हो सकता है कुछ अच्छा भी हो जाए नाउ सो द नेक्स्ट होप दैट वी कैन टेक इज फ्रॉम द zat is a different game. It's a different kind of a right. It's again a different ball game in the sense that uh, wait more intensive questions I would say, right? Zat throws across questions which are on a relative basis to GAT, sometimes even lengthier, right? So the number of attempts typically in ZAD, uh, right, is slightly lower, right? And we have to prepare in that sense. Also, so ZAD asks some questions which are typical to ZAD, right? Um, so that is the whole agenda that through these sessions we are looking at those very specific kind of questions uh, which we can expect in that. So हमने पहले कैट सीरीज भी की थी राइट और हमने उसमें कैट पर फोकस किया था और कैट स्टाइल के क्वेश्चंस को फोकस किया था एंड नाउ जैट को फोकस करेंगे और जैट के स्टाइल के क्वेश्चंस को हम देखने वाले हैं राइट so that's the whole point of these sessions, right? So without further ado, let's get into the problems, right? Let's start. Here we go. uh, just to let you know, a lot of students at this point of time would be you know uh, would want to prepare for their GDPI. So we are now out with our PDP module. So uh, you know we have seen a lot of demand from students for this preparation as well. So right, so the link is there. You can scan this. All the details of our PDP module are now available, right? So join this in case I mean, in any case you have to prepare for it. Whatever has happened, whatever will happen with the exams, eventually you have to face your GDNPI. So right, look out for this one. Okay, now let's get into the session, everyone. Here we go. So right, so we'll be taking a mix of previous years and some questions from my side. You can see below I have written this is ZAT 2018, right? So primarily I'll be taking forward some selective PYQs which I feel are quite relevant or something that we should look upon, and then I'll also be bringing some questions from my side. Both of them will be keeping in these sessions, right? So something here on ratios, the first one. Okay, so here we go. The number of boys in a school was 30 more than the number of girls. Subsequently, a few more girls joined the same school. Consequently, the ratio of boys and girls became 3:5. Find the minimum number of girls who joined subsequently. Look at the question. Question is not asking some specific data, but asking for you to optimize, which is to minimize the number of girls, right? So, how do we do this? We do this only because I mean minimization का question है ratio में, means something is not uniquely defined and you have to minimize it. Well, let's start crunching the information and let's see what happens. So let's say we, because there's a difference of 30, right? There are 30 more boys. So let's say the number of girls is X, then the number of boys is X plus 30. So ratio becomes 3:5 after 30, after few more girls join. So we don't know one more thing, the number of girls who joined. So let's say the number of girls who joined is another variable y. I have to take another variable. I don't know what is that. And I have to minimize this y, right? I have to minimize this y. So the ratio of boys to girls is now 3:5. Boys are still x plus 30 because no additional boys have joined. The girls are now x plus y. So this ratio is 3/5. Okay, let's simplify this. So I'm getting 5x plus 150. 5x plus 150 equals 3x plus 3y. So 3y equals 5x minus 3x, which is 2x plus 150. अच्छा, अब बात समझ में आई. So this is a question of minimization, but it starts from an equation that we are able to deduce. अब मुझे y को मिनिमाइज करना है तो x को भी मिनिमाइज करना है. 3y is 2x plus 150. So 3y is at least 150 or y is at least 50. Right? Clearly 3y is at least 150 or y is at least 50. But there is no option which says exactly equal to 50. Because x can't be 0. Right? You don't have any. I mean, if you're saying the number of boys is 30 more than number of girls. So I mean, if you're saying that there are 30 more than number of girls, तो girls हो ही ना, ऐसा तो possible नहीं है ना. That does not make any sense. So x is non-zero, right? But we have to take the least value of x. Now, however, for this equation, we can't just take any small value because, for example, if I take x equal to 1, then y won't be an integer because 3y would be 152. 152 is not divisible by 3. So you have to keep on taking higher values of x until you reach a multiple of 3, right? So 3y can't be 154 also, x can't be 2 also, but 3 would work. 3 would be the first value which would work, right? So therefore 3y is then 156 and then y is 52. Perfect, right? Right. Prabhakar knew this. Thank you, Prabhakar. Right. Chaliye. Partnership, right? So right. So another concept which we often teach in ratio proportion, right? Profit and loss along with that, right? In ratio and proportion we do partnership also. Again, something that has not come in CAT for a long time, but it came in XAT in 2020, right? Let's see. X, Y, and Z start a web-based venture together. X invests rupees 2.5, Y invests 3.5, Z invests 4 lakhs. I know in all these partnership questions, only the ratio matters, that in what ratio they have invested. So I will just mark over here that X is to Y is to Z. The amount invested is in what ratio? 2.5. So multiply with 2, right? 2.5 into 2, 3.5 into 2. So 5 is to 7 is to 8 is the ratio in which the amounts was invested, right? ये वो ratio है जिसमें amounts invested है. In the first year, the venture makes a profit of 2 lakhs. A part of the profit is shared between Y and Z in the ratio of 2 is to 3. And the remaining is divided in the ratio of their initial investments. The amount that Z receives is 4 times the amount that X receives. How much amount does Y receive? Okay, so just follow. Basically, it's a question of ratio, right? You can see that. So something was distributed only between Y and Z, first of all, in the ratio of 2 is to 3. So let's say this was some amount 2x and let's say this was some amount 3x, a total of 5x. यहाँ कुछ नहीं, nothing, right? Nothing 2x. Then remaining in the ratio of 5 to 7 is to 8. So 2x and 3x, total of 5x distributed. Remember, over here 2 lakhs. So let's say I'm working in lakhs of rupees. So total profit is 2 lakhs. Total profit is 2, right? And 5x is gone. So the remaining is 2 minus 5x. So that 2 minus 5x remaining profit will be distributed in the ratio, in this ratio 5:7:8. So right, so now from ratio we can come to fraction, right? X will get 5 by 5 plus 7 plus 8, which is 20. 5 plus 7, 12 plus 8, 20. 5 by 20 fraction, which is 1/4 of this 2 minus 5x. So he'll get 5 by 20 of 2 minus 5x. And likewise Z, so 8 parts out of 20 parts. So you'll get 8 by 20 parts of 2 minus 5x. Now we can create the equation that the amount that Z receives is 4 times of the amount that X receives. तो उससे X आ जाएगा, right? That's so normal equation based question, nothing else, right? Right? So this total, right, is 4 times of this value. So 3x plus, this is 2 by 5, 8 by 20, 4 cancels, 2 by 5th of 2 minus 5x equals 4 times of this value, this x value, which is 5 by 20, so 1/4 of 2 minus 5x. Just done, right? Simple. So this simplifies, this comes over here. I'm getting 3x equals this 2 minus 5x, we get 1 minus 2 by 5, 3/5 of that. 3x is 3/5 of 2 minus 5x. Simplify, I'm getting 5x equals what? 2 minus 5x. I'm getting 10x is 2. I'm getting x is 1 by 5. All right. So question was, how much amount does y receive? So remember, y will also get something over here, right? He'll get 7 by 20 parts of 2 minus 5x. So we can now combine these two values, right? We can now just conclude that what is the total value? Yeah, 2x, right? So I'm now writing final value over here. Y का amount कितना है? 2x. So x is 1 by 5. So 2 by 5 lakhs. I'm just writing in rupee, remember in rupees of lakhs. Plus 7 by 20 of 2 minus 5x. 2 minus 1, 1. 5x is 1. Right? So this is how much it is. 2 by 5 matlab 40,000. And 7 by 20 of lakh. 7 by 20 matlab 0.35. Matlab this is 35,000. So that's a total of 75,000. Right? That's your value. So Shubham, 2 minus 5x कैसे आया? 2x and 3x, right? This 2:3 was there, remember? So 2:3 was there. So I wrote y and z get 2x and 3x first of all. In lakhs of rupees, right? The units in lakhs of rupees. So total profit generated is 2 lakhs. So 2 lakhs minus 5x is the remaining corpus. वो जो है, that will be distributed in the ratio 5:7:8. That's how we then proceeded further. So 2x, 3x, and then the remaining of 2 minus 5x distributed in the ratio 5:7:8. Right, everyone? Right, so partnership, right? We should be aware of this. Why did you add 3x? So Z, so we are obviously talking Cat Ninja, that we are obviously talking of the total corpus received by X and Z. Now, when we are saying that the amount that Z receives, so the amount that Z receives is not only the what he gets out of 2 minus 5x. He had initially also got 3x. Na? So obviously we will talk about that total amount. Right? Why would we exclude that? Right? Does not make sense. Right? So thank you for clarifying. Right? Clear? चलिए आगे चले. Let's see. Here we go. Pipes and cisterns, right? Okay, so 4 two-way pipes A, B, C, and D. So he has named 4 pipes A, B, C, and D. can either fill an empty tank or drain the full tank in 4, 10, 12, and 20 minutes respectively. So time is given for all of them, but these are pipes which can either fill or drain. They can do any job, right? And their rate is same in either which way, right? All four pipes are opened simultaneously when the tank is empty, right? Under which of the following conditions the tank would be half filled after 30 minutes? So if it is half filled after 30 minutes, so then it would obviously be fully filled after 60 minutes. That's another way to say this, right? So basically we have to find that when will it happen that the tank will be filled in 60 minutes. So the options are the combinations of which should be the filling pipes, which should be the draining pipes. Now, if the tank is getting filled in 60 minutes, then what is the work done in 1 minute? 1 by 60th, right? So if I take the fraction approach, then you can say work rate is basically 1 by 60 net work rate, right? So go with options. Option 1, pipe A filled, pipe B and C drained. So I have to just check when is the net rate 1 by 60. So in this case, the rate will be the rate of A and take away the rate of all the remaining three pipes B, C and D. So if this rate comes to be 1 by 60, my job is done. The rate of pipe A is simply 1 by 4, right? It can fill 1/4 of the tank in a minute, and minus B plus C plus D, 1 by 10, 1 by 12, 1 by 20. So just quickly do this and see if we are getting 1 by 60. Obviously the LCM of all these numbers is 60. Yeah, very much. And then 15 into 460 minus 10 into 660, 12 into 560, 20 into 360. 6 and 5 is 11 and 3 is 14. Yes, 15 minus 14, 1 by 60. पहली ऑप्शन ही सही आ गई. ऑप्शंस में ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ी because very first option matched, right? That's the best thing that could have happened. Right? So in these kind of questions, obviously you don't have to solve it. You obviously have to backtrack from the options because that is how they are designed, right? So I took the fraction approach, right? You could also have done the LCM approach. All of us are aware of the LCM approach. है ना? Right. So basically, whenever the time is given, Shubham, the rate is 1 upon time. That's a basic thing. So I guess you're not aware of the basics of time and work. So if I'm saying that I'm filling a tank in 4 minutes, means I'm filling 1/4 of the tank in 1 minute. So I'm writing that what fraction of the tank is being filled. So the objective is to half fill in 30 minutes or fully filled in 60 minutes. Means 1 by 60th of the tank should be filled per minute. So this is your effective rate. 1 by 60th of the tank should be filled in every minute. And then I'm verifying, Shubham, that what combination gives me that value, right? So A is filling, B, C and D are draining pipes. So with the A, you take the positive sign, it's doing 1/4 of the job in every minute. And B, C, D are doing negative work of 1/10, 1/12 and 1 by 20th. So you remove that, you get 1 by 60. That is exactly what you wanted, right? Okay, right? Let's see. Here we go. Okay. I'm in distance. Yeah, Shubham, exactly. That's what my point. You can do it by the same approach also. That is also fine. Right? Okay, now here we have something to do with a lengthier question, right? Now, so that's what I was talking about, right? XAT gives us these questions, and length is not always difficult, right? So don't reject all the lengthy questions. Sometimes some of them are actually quite doable. Just that you will take 1 minute more extra to read the question, right? City Bus Corporation runs two buses from terminus A to terminus B, each bus making 5 round trips in a day. There are no stops in between. There are two buses running between two terminus. Each bus makes 5 round trips in a day. There are no stops. These buses ply back and forth on the same route at different but uniform speeds. Each morning, the buses start at 7 a.m. from the respective terminuses. Means one bus will start from terminus A, the other from terminus B, right? And they both start at the same time, which is 7 a.m. They meet for the first time at a distance of 7 kilometers from terminus A. So, let's say this is your journey from A to B, right? This is your A, this is your B. Now he's talking of the meeting point. They meet for the first time at a distance of 7 kilometers from terminus A. Let's say this meeting point M1 is over here, and this is 7 kilometers. Their next meeting is at a distance of 4 kilometers from terminus B. So somewhere around, let's say here, this is meeting point, call it M2, and this distance is 4 kilometers while traveling in opposite directions. So at this point of time, the buses are traveling in opposite directions. What is the meaning of this? Why does it what is the significance of this statement that they were traveling in opposite directions? Let's understand. From here, the first bus was coming, call it bus B1. From here, the other bus was coming, call it bus B2. Both buses meet here, and the bus B1 was moving in this direction. Bus B2 was moving in this direction. Bus B1 continues moving towards terminus B. Bus B2 also continues moving towards terminus A. Obviously, it will come back. Now, at that point of time, when they are meeting, bus B2 obviously should be moving in this direction. And bus B1 would definitely have reached terminus B before having this second meeting. Because if it was still moving in the same direction, then they would not be moving in the opposite directions. It means bus B1 also got the opportunity to reach the opposite end, turn back, and then meet bus B2 in the opposite direction. That is the significance of this statement. Assuming that the time taken by the buses at the terminuses is negligibly small and the cost of running a bus is 20 rupees per kilometer, find the daily cost of running the buses. So the total cost will be the rate into total distance covered, right? So the total cost will be the rate, which is rupees 20 per kilometer, into the total distance covered. And what is this total distance covered? This total distance covered for which come to this 5 round trips in a day. Right? Basically, Cat Ninja, basically their buses are moving on the they're moving back and forth between terminus A and B. That is what it means. Same route means A to B, B to A to B, B to A. They have different but uniform speeds. So speed of bus B1 is different from speed of bus B2, but they respectively maintain their speeds. They don't do their speeds up and down. Right? So now, so I was talking of this distance, right? This distance. So 5 round trips. So 5 round trips. So for each round trips, let's say the distance from A to B is some distance D. So round trip means D plus D 2D. So 5 into 2D. And there are two buses, not one bus. So 5 into 2D is the distance covered by each bus. So twice of that. So this total distance covered is 5 into 4, 20D is the total distance covered by both the buses combined. Right? So therefore, this total cost is 20 into 20D. So this total cost is basically 400D. And now the main objective is to find the total distance D. Can I say that I have two meeting points M1 and M2? Can I say that the two buses are running for the same amount of time whenever they are meeting. Time is constant in this case. The time for which the two buses are running is the same. So whenever time is constant, the ratio of distance is the same as the ratio of speeds. So the distance of bus B1 to the distance of bus B2 in both the meetings should be equal to the ratio of the speeds and should be the same. So let's write this ratio for both the meeting points. For the meeting point M1, bus B1 has covered the distance of 7, whereas bus B2 has covered the distance of obviously D minus 7 if I've taken the distance, total distance to be D. This is for M1. This is M1. For M2, we can equate this. Meeting point M2 till there, bus B1 has covered whole of D from A to B plus the 4. It has come back D plus 4. And the bus B2. So it also covered the whole of distance D from B to A, D plus. It came back from A to M2. A to M2 is D minus 4. So this is D plus D minus 4 or 2D minus 4. So can I write this as 2D minus 4? Right? Let me just write simply. This is 2D minus 4. So I think this equation should give us the value of distance, and that will finish the problem. Solve this. So we are getting cross multiplying. So d square over here, d square, and minus 7 plus 4. So minus 3d and minus 7 into 4 minus 28 equals, this is 7 into 2, 14d minus 28. Constant term cancels. So I effectively have a simple equation. I'm getting d square is 17d. So I'm getting d to be 17. So therefore my answer is 400 into 17, 6,800 rupees. Right. So it's a very it's a kind of a question that everybody should know, right? This kind of question, whenever you have this kind of back and forth happening between two objects moving on the same path and two meeting points are given, how to do this? Equate the ratio of distances covered in the two meeting points. That's the main crux of this question, right? So now you understand that it's not a difficult question, just that you have to understand the objective. I know the rate. If I know the distance, my job is done, right? Perfect. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Just to let you know, we are live with our online classes. So again, something to boost your last mile journey towards that, right? Online classes they have just started. The first class is happening right now today. So still not late to join. You can check out our module for this, right? Uh, being taken by our experts, right? Okay, right. Let's continue, people. Okay, so now again, I've brought some typical questions today. This is a bit of an old question, but deliberately I put this because I found this question to be very nice. Let's see. Geometry, trigonometry, whatever you want to call this, right? Let's see. There are two windows on the wall of a building that need repairs. Two windows on a building. A ladder 30 meters long is placed against a wall such that it just reaches the first window, which is 26 meters high. The foot of the ladder is at point A. Let's start drawing the diagram over here. Right, this is your wall. This is your right window. Call it window A. No, there is a point A below. No. Just a second. Call it point X. X for the first window, right? And okay, so This is the ladder. This is your ground. This is your point A. Let's call this point B. And this ladder AX is 30 meters. And this XB is 26 meters. We can easily find AB from the Pythagoras. So AB is root 30 square minus 26 square. Simple. 900 minus 676. This is root 224, which is very close to 15 square to 25. So this is very, very close to 15. This is very, very close to 15. Very close. So now, after the first window is fixed, the foot of the letter is pushed backwards to point B. Oh, okay. So let me call this point M. And it's pushed back to point B somewhere, so that the letter can reach the second window. So, okay. So then let's say somewhere down the line, and there is some point Y. The angle made by the ladder with the ground is reduced by half as a result of pushing the ladder, the distance between points. So the typicality in this question comes from this angle condition. Angle is hard, but how do I find the angle? That's the you can say a tricky part. So you see, once you come to find this AB and approximate it to 15, that is where the magic happens. Because then AM is 15 and the whole of AX is 30. And if this angle is theta, then very wonderfully, you're getting a ratio of half for cos theta. Right, so that's the catch, or that is what you have to catch basically, that approximately, very very approximately, very close to half is the value of cos theta. It is not exact, but it is so close that I can approximate that theta is very very near to 60 degrees, because cos theta is half for theta equal to 60 degrees. So if this is 60 degrees, so this is half of that, which is 30. And then there is not much of effort left, right? We have to find the distance AB basically. So we can find BM because we know BY is also 30, right? So BM is now BY, which is 30 only, into cos of 30 degree. So it is basically 30 into root 3 by 2, which is 15 root 3. So basically what you get is that BM is 15 root 3 and AM is 15. So your answer is 15 into root 3 minus 1, right? So that's your answer, which you have to match from the options, that what is the, in what range does, so you're getting AB to be basically 15 into root 3 minus 15. So 15 into root 3 minus 1. So that is how much approximately 15 into root 3 is 1.732. So this, you are multiplying 15 with 0.732. 15 into zero point 0.7 itself is 10.5. So obviously this is going to be more than 10.5. So that is the fifth option is the correct one, right? Everybody, right? Making sense? आगे चलें? ठीक है, चलिए, ठीक है. So the point is, just trust the question, it will get solved, I think, right? That's the moral of the story. क्वेश्चन दिखने में लगेगा अरे कैसे होगा, एक बार आप डेटा को एनालाइज करो, हो जाएगा, राइट? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. ओके, XAT 24 नंबर्स. चलिए, तो कुछ डिजिट बेस्ड ए बी 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 एक नंबर है, उसके बारे में है. लेट्स सी. कंसीडर अ 4 डिजिट नंबर ऑफ द फॉर्म ए बी बी बी, like for example 4,777, right? 5,666, something like that. A is obviously positive, can't be zero, and the last three digits are all B. Which of the following conditions is both necessary and sufficient to ensure that the 4-digit number is divisible by a. Let's see. The number is basically a, b, b, b. So what is its value? Now number n, what is its value? It's in its numerical value, right? So a is basically 1000a. I'm I'm basically talking about the place value expansion of the number. A means 1000a, and this b is basically 100b, and the tens place is also b, so 10b, and then the last is b. So basically this is 1000a plus 111b, right? Obviously that is how we will say that is the numerical value of what we have. So this number should be divisible by a. So means n by a should be an integer. That is what it means. N by a should be an integer. So what is n by a? We are getting 1000a plus 111b divided by a, which means it is 1000, which is an integer, plus 111b by a. So for this to be an integer, this thing should be an integer. So 111b should be divisible by a. Now 111 is 3 into 37. So 3 into 37 into b should be divisible by a. 3 times 37 times b should divide a. Now a is a digit. A here represents a digit. It can take the value from 1 to 9. It can't even be equal to 0. It takes the values from 1 to 9. So the point is a can't divide 37, but a can divide either of 3 or b. So if you want to say that this condition is to be satisfied, so I can ignore 37 and I can say that 3b is the value which should be divisible by a. That is the choice 5. Right? So this condition is exactly what we want. If 3b is divisible by a, the number is divisible by a. Simple. Right? So do you see? Right? Questions are coming which ask us to analyze the things. Right? Right, here we did not have to make some equations, solve for it, get the values of the variables, nothing like that. You have to analyze the divisibility condition, right? So that's why I'm saying that XAT is a different kind of a beast, right? वो आपसे logical चीजें पूछता है जहां पर आपको actually में you have to think through, right? CAT is also right it in its own way, right? Right, it's own kind of exam, and that gives us these very intriguing questions, right? Sometimes lengthy to read questions also, right? चलिए आगे बढ़े, चलिए आगे बढ़े. Let's see next one. Okay, so now some questions from my side. I have brought a question here on clocks, right? And something very unique. What is the time gap between the two instances? What is the time gap between the two instances when the hour and minute hands of a clock make an angle of 55 degrees between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m.? Right. So Shubham, I'll give you a very useful formula for this, and that will take care of almost every question of clocks. So if the time on a clock is h hours and m in minutes form, right? Whatever is the time in h hours, m minutes, right? So the angle theta between the hour and the minute hands is always given with this formula: mod of 30h minus 11 by 2m is the formula for the angle between the hour and the minute hands. at any time h hours m minutes. Just use this formula, get all the questions done. Right. So therefore, using this, we can do this question. What is the time gap when the hour and the minute hands of a clock make an angle of 55 degree between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m.? So somewhere around here will be your hour hand, right? The shorter one, this one. The minute hand, the longer hand. There will be two instances when there will be this 55 degree somewhere around here and somewhere around here, right? I'm not saying our hand will remain where it is in both the cases, but I'm just saying approximately like this. You can imagine there will be two instances when the angle of 55 degree will be formed. So you don't have to draw the diagram or anything. Just apply this equation, because you know right now it is h is basically 3. It is 3 hours and some minutes. H is 3. So in this equation, the angle is 55 and h is 3. So solve for the values of m, and you have to find the values. You have to find the time gap. So you have to find, there'll be two solutions of m, you know that. तो वो जो दो values आएंगी उनका difference आपका आंसर है. So h is 3. So this is 90 minus 11 by 2m. H is 3. So this is equal to either 55 or minus 55. So you're getting 11 by 2m is either 90 minus 55, which is 35, or 90 plus 55, which is 145, right? So m is coming to be either 35 into 2, 70 by 11, or 155 into 2, 290 by 11. तो ये दोनों टाइम का डिफरेंस ले लेना, दैट्स इट, which is 290 minus 70, 220 by 11, which is 20 minutes, right? Right, right. Wish fish, thank you. That is also one way to do this. Or basically, I've given this equation so that you can do all the questions, right? Chaliye. Thank you, thank you. Good, good, good. Okay, now I'll give you a minute for this question, everybody. Let me see. Okay, let me pause for a minute. Let's see if you can get this. I know everybody is participating in the session. Good to see that. Shubham, let me explain for you what Wishfish is saying. Let me come back. So basically, what he's saying, Shubham, see, ये जो equation है ना, इसका logic बस यही है. This 11 by 2, which he's also saying 5.5. So basically, what happens is that the hour and the minute hands, they have their relative speed, which is 5.5 degrees per minute, because 6 degrees per minute is the speed of the minute hand, and 0.5 or half degree per minute is the speed of the hour hand. So with these speed, their relative speed, because they're moving in the same direction, is comes to be 11/2 or 5.5 degrees per minute. उसी के बेसिस पर ये इक्वेशन है 11/2 30h minus 11/2 m. तो क्योंकि उनका रिलेटिव स्पीड 5.5 डिग्री पर मिनट है, तो मैंने जो बोला 55 डिग्री 55 डिग्री, सो इफेक्टिवली द मूवमेंट इज ऑफ 55 plus 55 110 डिग्री. So that's what he's saying, dear, that 110 डिग्री मूव करना है और 5.5 डिग्री हर मिनट में मूव कर रहे हैं. तो 110 डिग्री कितने देर मूव करेंगे? 110 divided by 5.5 degree per minute, which is 20 minutes. That is another way to do this, right? ठीक है, तो ये है उनका रिलेटिव स्पीड कॉन्सेप्ट. किसी ने इसका आंसर नहीं दिया अभी तक, क्या बात है? करिए करिए, आंसर आना चाहिए. I'll wait, right? I want your answers because I know there are a lot of brilliant people right now in the session. Okay, Vignesh got that. Thank you. Yes, Vignesh, that is correct. Thank you. Done. Chaliye. So this is what it is, people. How many pairs of distinct integers can be selected from 1 to 50 such that their sum is a multiple of 5? From 1 to 50, you have 10 multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, right? So the numbers which are of the form 5k kind of numbers, there are 10 such numbers, right? Similarly, there will be 10 other numbers which will be of the form 5k plus 1 kind of value, right? 1, 6, 11, dot, 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 46 tak. So there will be 10 such numbers again, because it's an even spread, right? So you have continuously 50 numbers. So obviously you'll have the same number of, values. Similarly, you'll have another 10 numbers which is of the form 5k plus 2. You'll have another 10 numbers which are of the form 5k plus 3. And you'll have another 10 numbers which are of the form 5k plus 4, making for the total of 10 into 5, total of 50 numbers, obviously. इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. So you have to select two different numbers, such that their sum is a multiple of 5. So there are different ways to do that. You can have both the numbers to be of the form 5k. So 5k1 plus 5k2 kind of sum you can have. n1 and n2 are the numbers and both are of the form 5k 5k. So आपको उस केस में क्या करना है? How many ways you can do this selection? You have to select two numbers from these 10 numbers. So what is the number of ways? 10c2, which is 45. 10 into 9 by 2, 45. You can also have that the n1 is of the form 5k1 plus 1 and the n2 is of the form 5k2 plus 4. तो इसका सम भी तो 5 का मल्टीपल होगा, बिकॉज 5k 1 and 4 5. तो इसमें नंबर ऑफ वेज क्या हो जाएगा? You can take one out of these 10 numbers, 10c1, and you have to take one out of these 10 numbers, again 10c1. So 10c1 into 10c1, which is nothing but 100. 10 into 10 100. तो इन दोनों का जिस तरह से आपने कंबाइन किया, वैसे आप इन दोनों का भी कंबाइन कर सकते हैं कि one of number is of the form 5k1 plus 2, the other is of the form 5k2 plus 3 kind of number. The same thing again, 10 into 10 100. So that makes for, I think that is all the ways, right? So a total of 245, right? Okay, so with that, right, I hope you are on the right track, right? and just keep up your work, people. Right? We'll meet again. We'll meet again. Right? Test series is also live from us. Right? Put yourself to the test today. Right? Shubham, because the order does not matter, because the question does not specify that the numbers have to be taken in an ordered manner. That is why. I get your point, but if the question had said x and y are two numbers such that their sum is a multiple of 5, then I would have taken the other way around. So order nahi lena hai, unordered solutions lene hain. Yeah. All right. So thank you, people. Thank you. PDP sessions are ongoing. I mean, PDP module is live now. Test series is live now, and our XAT specific batch has just started today. So you can also check out all those details that I've shared with you. Right. So cheers. All the best. I'll see you again. Right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.